Hello! This video is for our military veterans. It's for any U.S. military historians or anybody that would know about all of our wars here in the United States. This right here is a sleeping bag. It's a tote bag, and in this house, I found it in the attic, and I'm responsible for getting rid of stuff and putting it to the proper place. And I want to know what era this came from. In this house, there were 3 military men who, God bless their souls, have since passed away, and their stuff was left behind. This could have either came from the Iraq War, it could have came from the Vietnam War era, it could have came from World War II. So I want to show you the sleeping bag, and I want you to tell me if you recognize it. And I believe it's from the Army. And I'll pull it out here, and it is musty. This bag's obviously canvas. And for some reason, it is marked out here with a name. I can't even see the name here, but you might be able to recognize. You might be able to recognize this font on this number or this name in this design. Again, I don't know, like Iraq, did they even have green uniforms in Iraq? Were they all tan and desert color because they were in the desert? Found a pamphlet here. Looks like it may have been washed. It says heavy hints for light packs. I don't see, it says Army Rutherford Printing. I don't, if New Hampshire, I do not see a date on there. It says Department of Army Office, DC. And again, I don't know if you can tell by the font if it's, I don't think it would be Iraq, maybe World War II, or it could be Vietnam era. It might have been in the era of non-combat, but the 3 men who served were in those 3 eras. So I'm sure it was from one of them. So that's that. Here is the bag itself. It says U.S. here. And what's interesting, this kind of looks green, but it kind of looks desert color. Is it from Desert Shield or Desert Storm? Of course, I remember I was in high school when Desert Shield, when we went into Kuwait to protect Kuwait's interests and our interests, and that was way before the Iraq War. And then it became Desert Stormfront, I think. Okay. This is what it looks like, a long sleeping bag. Huh, look at that. Here's a number here. It says VC58. And it says Robert E. Craig right here. I don't know if that was the name of the soldier. Robert E. Craig, it could have been. Right there. And so that's that. Here's the bag again. I don't think there's any more pockets. And it came with this as well. And I think maybe this is a cover to protect it. I'm not 100% sure. So let me know from what I've seen. If you want to put questions in the comment section and I can answer them the best I can. I don't know a lot about the estate, so I don't know what I could answer for. Let me know if you think that these have any value whatsoever. If it's enough to ship to somebody, if I sell it on Etsy, eBay or something, and whatever I make on it, I'll donate it to Wounded Warriors or some kind of nonprofit that helps military vets. And if you're watching this, Memorial Day is coming up, and of course we had Veterans Day a few months ago. But in this country, every day should be Memorial Day. Every day should be Veterans Day. Because all these freedoms that we have in this country, and how beautiful this country is, and our Constitution, all the way from Washington's days all the way up until 2025. It's all because of our veterans and the sacrifices that they made for us. Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, all you guys and girls who've served this country, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did for this country, and I cannot pay you enough for the sacrifices that you made for this country, this beautiful, beautiful country that we live in. Put in the comment section what era you think this is from. Is it from Vietnam? Is it from Iraq? Is it from World War II? Of course, it's not World War I, of course. And let me know what branches, if you are a Vietnam veteran or a World War II veteran. Wow, can you imagine? Our World War II veterans now would be in their 90s, right? In hundreds and 90s. And there's probably only a few thousand left, unfortunately. And Vietnam veterans, we still have a lot of Vietnam veterans, and of course our Iraqi veterans. But let me know what branch that you served in, and what years that you served our country. I'd love to know. Afghanistan, anywhere on the planet, anywhere that you serve, please let me know. I have a quick story. So when I was in high school and college, I would see somebody with a veteran hat on or whatever, and they had a little bit of gray, and they had this certain movement, and I could always tell that it was a Vietnam veteran. So recently, I was taking care of someone in the hospital, and I saw one of those people, and they were walking around, and they had a veteran hat. I just saw veteran on there. I was like, I bet that's a Vietnam veteran. I know the Vietnam vets. And I kept looking, and you know how time goes by, I started realizing it said Iraq War veteran, and I started realizing, of course, it's not a Vietnam veteran. Vietnam veterans are now in their 70s, 80s now, and now people my age are Iraq War veterans, and now they look like our Vietnam veterans did in the 90s and late 80s, right? So it's just funny how time catches up with you, and you realize that none of us are getting any younger. All right, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe.